Hey folks, I'm Dave. Welcome to the channel. So in our last couple of videos, we made some Christmas ornaments, and I asked the viewers to let me know if there was something special they wanted to see me try to create. And I got a response from @TTG, and they really just asked if I'd ever done a video on a 3D ornament, and I told them I had not, but I would look into it. So we're going to make this. And we've made layered ornaments, but not something that's truly 3D. So hopefully this will be fun for you. And we're going to start with a circle. Hold shift and just draw out a circle and drop it. Click your selector tool. And remember, you can scroll in and out with your mouse wheel. You can push down and move the entire canvas around. So up top with your lock on, we want to go 104 millimeters, and that gives us about 4 inches. We're going to select, go to the offset tool. We're going to do an inward offset of 8 millimeters. Click OK. Select everything, go up top and group it, or you can right click and group it in the drop down. Now we're going to need 2 of these. So we'll Control D and then pull one out with the right arrow key. I'll scroll in on this one. We're going to make, like I said, one will sit inside of the other. So we'll have a tab on the inside of one and on the outside of the other. So we want to grab a square, just draw out a little rectangle. And since our, click your selector tool, since our offset is 8 millimeters, we need for our slot to be 4 millimeters high, but make sure your lock is off this time. Make the height 4. And we're using 5 millimeter Luan plywood, which is a really good project wood. I'm sure some of you have seen me use it before. And to adjust for the kerf a little bit, we're going to make the width 4.8. And this will give it a tight fit. So you can select and then hold down your Alt key to make sure you get this in the center. And on the edge, preferably. Maybe. It's okay. You can watch me struggle, folks. All right, so we'll leave that there. And then we're going to get a copy. Control D. And we're going to move it straight down. I'm just using the arrow keys. I think I'll just grab the edge this time and drop it right there. Hope I'm not moving around too much. We're just going to leave it there for a second. We're going to Control D, pull it over here, scroll in on this one. We're going to grab the outer edge, hold Alt, and pull it down like so. So inside, outside. Then we'll get a copy of this one, Control D, and bring it up here and do the same thing. If you grab the edge of it, it'll snap to the edge like that. Now you can make sure that it breaks the plane if you just grab it, pull it out a little bit. You usually don't have to, but sometimes I go overboard, but it works. Now, we need to deal with these one at a time. So we're going to select the outer ring, shift, select the slot, and then go over to the subtract tool and subtract it out. And we'll do the same thing here. Select the ring, shift, select the slot, and then subtract. When you're subtracting, you have to deal with two objects. That's why we couldn't do all three at the same time. We're going to do the same thing here. Select the outer ring, shift, select the slot, and subtract. And if this ever doesn't work, something's not right. It could be you didn't group the first objects together, or you've got something else in the way. So select your ring, shift, and select your slot. And there we go. So this one will go inside of this one. We'll have to work with it a little bit to get it in there, but it'll go. And you can pull these together and see that they match up to that 8 millimeters. All right, so to make this not last too long, we're going to use some vectors I've used before. And the first one is going to be a snowflake. And I will give you a link so you can go download this. And what we're going to do is just set one off here. Just turn it around. You don't want it to go past the center plane, because when we put our other objects on the opposite corners, or not corners, but you know what I mean. And then just get it set in there. Control D. And pull one over to the other side. And then we will use union to put these in place. Something like that should work pretty good. And then we're going to control D again. We're going to get one out. We're going to get 4 out, so no matter which way this sets, you'll be able to see the snowflake on either side of the ornament. So I know I could use the array button or the array option, but I'm just going to duplicate it. And now we have 4. And now we can union these. With union, you have to deal with 2 objects as well. So we can select our outer ring, select our snowflake, and you have the union option over in the modifier tools, but you also have it up in tools and Boolean assistant. Right here, select union and click OK. Then again, we could select our outer ring, shift, select our other snowflake, and then union it together. And then, of course, these will just set back on top. Once we get done, you can paint them or soup them up however you like. Now on the other side, we're going to use this Santa Claus, I believe. Now this Santa Claus comes from a font, and I will give you a link. Let me go to text and see if I can find this font. I believe it's just Christmas. It's here somewhere. Oh, maybe that's it. And yes, the letter A is Santa Claus. So I'll give you a link in the description to get this font. And actually, I will give you a link to make this entire Christmas art library. It'll only cost you the time to make it, which is really quick. You just type out letters. Let me get one. Let's try B, C, and then you just save those to the art library. But I'll give you a link so you'll have access to both of these. It just didn't have a good snowflake in it, so we got the snowflake from somewhere else, and you'll have a link to pick that up as well. All right, now for Santa, Santa will go on the opposite side, something like that, and we just have to make sure it doesn't break this center plane, like that. So we want to go to the offset tool, and we don't want it to be 8. We want it to be outward and 0 should work, and outer shapes only. Be sure to select that and optimize. Click OK. Then we can pull that out and check it. I hope that wasn't behind my face. So select your Santa, give that an engrave, and then make sure your engraving, you move it up above your cut line. And I don't know why that's a field, but I'm going to make it a line. Give it some clear lines to paint. For somebody to paint. Maybe my wife or my son will paint it. I'm going to make that 40. Okay, so now we need another copy of this. Control D, because we're going to need this background. So we can engrave, and then we can cut that Santa out. So we're going to put Santa here. Control D, pull one out. And we're going to put Santa right about there, somewhere where it does not poke all the way out and it doesn't break the center. Okay, so we're going to select here, Shift, select Santa, and go over to Union. Then we're going to do the same thing over again and go to Union. Now we want to put Santa on both sides. So we've got Santa here, and then we can Control D and get one to go here. But what we've got to do is get some to go on the other side that are mirrored. I think I lost my centerpiece there, or my background. There we go. I probably should have grouped that together. I'll do it now. Select and group. Select and group. Okay, so we're going to Control D, get one of these for the other side. And then we're going to Control Shift H to give it a horizontal flip. And then we can Control D again and just move it out. Now we've got what we need for both sides. And now we just need to put a hanger on top. And the hanger will go on to this one. Let me scroll in a little bit. We'll just grab a circle. Hold Shift, draw out a circle. Click OK. Make it a cut. And then we're going to cut the bottom half of this off. Grab a square. Drag out a rectangle. About halfway or so. Select your circle, Shift, select your rectangle, and then hit subtract. Now we can work with this and make sure we don't cover up our slot with it. You can, let me get in closer. You can grab it and try to use the Alt key to line it up. There we go. That's perfect. And now we can select both, and this time it's a weld. So it's a weld if you're bringing multiple objects together, that are overlapping. But if you're spanning a distance, if you've got something hanging out like this, then it'll be a union. And weld you can use with multiple objects. Union, you're relegated to 2 objects. Okay, so now we just need a hanger hole. So grab another circle, draw out a little circle. Don't make it too big. Just big enough to get a hook or some yarn or something through. Hold your Alt key, line it up, and there we go. And in this case, you can just select both and group it together. Okay, folks, I think we are ready to jump into laser and give this a try. Again, we're using 5mm Luan hardwood plywood, and I'll leave a link for that down in the description. And it is a really nice project wood, and you can go get some if you like and give it a try. All right, folks, let me get set up into laser, and I'll be right back. All right, we're all framed up. Again, we're using 5mm Luan plywood, and I'll leave a link down in the description. So let's send the code on over, cut this out, and see what it looks like. Okay, well that's looking pretty good. So let me clean it up and put it together and we'll get a closer look. So here is our finished ornament. I think it turned out pretty good, especially since it's the first one of its type I've done. We could have filled in a little more with some more vectors, but this will give you a general idea of how to do it. And if you cut your slots just right, then you can just hook one edge and then slide toward the other slot and it'll snap right into place. You won't even have to use any glue. So if this was helpful, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and it'll help me to keep doing this. I do like being in the shop. So I'll drop links for the snowflake vector as well as the font to get Santa and a link for how to create that free Christmas art library. I'll also drop a link for the 5mm Luan plywood. It's a really nice project wood. I think you'll enjoy using it. So I want to thank @TTG for this topic suggestion. I appreciate it. And if anyone else has suggestions, whether it's Christmas or otherwise, just let me know, and I'll do my best to add them into or include them into a future video. So I appreciate you taking time to watch. I know there's a lot of stuff you could be watching, so thank you. And I appreciate all the comments and questions. And I'm glad to answer questions about this or anything I've got posted or any general laser or Lightburn questions anytime. At least I'll try to get you an answer. So just check back often for new videos. You folks take care, and we'll see y'all next time. Thank you.